So why does Robert Kiyosaki say, if you want to get rich, keep your salary low, keep your expenses high, get into debt, and do not save money? It's really common knowledge that if we want to achieve any kind of financial freedom so we don't get burned out, we've got to earn more than we can spend. This means increasing our income and keeping our expenses low or decreasing them. Additionally, we're always told to get out of debt and to save money. So in today's video, I'm going to take a deep dive into decoding Robert Kiyosaki's teachings that seem like he's saying just the opposite of everything we've learned. We'll uncover this and more and show you how to use these principles so you can take advantage of them in your own life. For those of you new to the channel, I'm Dr. Ron Wuest, a psychiatrist of 33 years, and I make educational videos to help healthcare professionals avoid burnout, achieve financial freedom so they don't have to work 80 hours a week, and achieve emotional well-being in less than 15 minutes per day. Because frankly, school never taught us to care for ourselves. Boring alert. My family tells me I am still boring. I promise if you stick with this video, I'll help make complex concepts simple. If you don't watch, I might have to take out my sock puppet for entertainment value. What's that, you say? Oh, I want to remind you, I'm a coach and educator. So before you make any major financial, legal, medical decision in life, always talk to a trusted medical professional. And I have more resources of that on my community. So let's start off and now take a deep dive into Kiyosaki's enigmas. So there are two financial statements, essentially a profit loss and a balance sheet statement, that are important to understand. In the profit loss, it's really comparing how much money you earn and how much money you spend over a particular time frame. So what's left over is your profit or your loss. It's like a snapshot that you're taking where of how you're doing, how your income and expenses compare over, say, a month's period of time. And in this example, we know we need to keep our income high and our expenses low so we have money left over. The second financial statement is called the balance sheet. And the balance sheet is comparing assets, things of value that you have, and debts and obligations, liabilities that you have, and the difference between them. If it's positive, you have a positive net worth, and you have accumulated poker chips, so to speak, because you have lots of assets and few liabilities, and this is your net worth. So why does Kiyosaki say just the opposite? Well, he essentially breaks these and makes distinctions of good income and bad income, good expenses and bad expenses, and good debt and bad debt. And he wants you to generate good income, good expenses, and good debt, and avoid bad income, bad expenses, and bad debt. So what does he consider bad income? Let's start with the income, first of all. Well, if you're a W-2 employee, that means you're trading your time for money. So he considers this bad income. He wants money coming in regardless of whether he's on vacation or whether he's working or not. When you have a salary, essentially you may have a high salary, but you're also paying very high taxes. And there's very little your accountant can do to lower these. Whereas if you're moving your income over to a business owner side, there's a lot your accountant can do, and you can pay your expenses with before tax income, And so after all your expenses, like computers and educational things that you need for your business, then what's left over is taxed rather than the opposite when you're a salaried employee. In Robert Kiyosaki's book, The Cash Flow Quadrant, having a low income is really meaning that he is moving from the salaried employee over to the business owner employee, and that he considers good income. That is income that's passive, that you don't have to work for, and where you're not trading your time for money, where expenses can be deducted before you're taxed on your income, and losses from previous years can be deducted from your income. He also says good income is portfolio income, and that means things where you're generating dividends, such as stocks or T-bills, where you're getting income, not trading your time for money, and that are taxed at a much lower rate. So, for example, if you're getting dividend income and you've held the investment over a year and a day, that tax rate is 20%, which is called long-term capital gains. Whereas bad income is earning income for trading your time for money, and you're taxed at whatever income bracket you happen to be at. Now, going on to the second thing, why does he say keep your expenses high? Well, he wants you to keep your good expenses high. So what are good expenses? Good expenses are things that generate passive income. So what types of things generate passive income? Real estate is one example, and something that I was fortunate enough to learn from Kiyosaki, where you're generating passive income all the time. So if you're buying real estate, you're really buying an income stream. Also, when you have an expense that buys a appreciating asset, such as gold and silver, perhaps Bitcoin, these are good expenses. Those are more poker chips, essentially, that you own. Expenses that will generate income for your business, anything that will generate more money for your business, such as marketing will generate more money, are considered good expenses. Expenses that offer you significant tax saving, such as in real estate, a cost segregation study can save you thousands and thousands in taxes. Other expenses he considers are good expenses are things where you're educating yourself financially, or expenses for health, expenses that bring you experiences that are meaningful to you and your loved ones. Bad expenses are unnecessary expenses, buying depreciating assets like sports cars, unless that's your thing, unnecessary consumption, expenses that such as that you're buying on high interest credit cards. So good debt, to summarize, is debt. So you understand the difference now between good expenses, bad expenses. Now we'll talk about debt. Once again, he breaks this down into good debt and bad debt. So good debt is debt that somebody else pays for you. So once again, we'll use the example of real estate. Your tenants are paying your debt down. If you have a business, that's good debt. You're not trading your time for money, so it's good income. But your customers pay your debt down. Debt that will buy you appreciating cash flowing assets is good debt. Again, we use the example of real estate or a business. The debt is used as leverage to amplify your investment returns. As long as your cash flow positive, including your debt, that's good debt, as long as your customers or tenants are paying that debt. Bad debt are things that you're consuming that you don't need, depreciating assets. If you buy anything that is draining money from your account that you don't need every month, that he considers bad debt. And then finally, let's talk about why he says don't save money. He says savers are losers. So this always bothered me because it felt kind of heartless. It's common wisdom. Obviously, we have to save money to acquire some form of financial independence. But when he says savers are losers, he doesn't mean you're a loser as a person. He means you're losing money financially, mostly due to inflation. So saving money in the bank at 1% and losing 4% to inflation means your money is being devalued by 4% per year, which essentially gives you a real rate of return on the dollars in the bank of -3%. Here, the workaround for this is to stop saving money in currency and trade currency for assets that will be either cash flowing and appreciating, such as things like real estate, gold, silver, Bitcoin, having your own business. So instead of being a saver, he thinks you should really be an investor. You're taking the currency and investing in things that are wiser, such as cash flowing assets. Once again, in summary, you want to have passive and dividend income. You want to convert currency into real assets that can't be depreciated by printing money, such as real estate, business, gold. You want to get into good debt, which somebody else is paying for you by buying cash flowing and appreciating assets with debt. And don't hold on to currency unless you really need to be highly liquid. For those of you who enjoyed this video, please share it with other healthcare professionals. I'm making this so you can achieve financial freedom and don't have to work 60 or 80 hours a week. I want you to overcome burnout, achieve financial freedom and emotional well-being. And if you like this video, hit the link below to my 2024 Healthcare Prosperity Masterclass. I think you'll find it really interesting.